quick video. The Vedic personalities and gods correlate to a lot of the excuse me deities and gods and divine beings and other spiritual pantheons as well, right? And not only that, a lot of the times these guys, these deities, they're talking about extraterrestrials. I know that sounds like some wild shit. You feel me? Extraterrestrials, aliens, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, honestly, if you think about it, if you think about a being or intelligence that exists outside of the Earth, or that is more ancient than a race of humanity, you're pretty much talking about an extraterrestrial, right? So, getting to it, right? I'm pretty sure we're all familiar with the biblical flood story of Noah, right? This is the Vedic equivalent. King Manu and the Lord Matsya avatar. So King Manu is pretty much Noah. King Manu, Vivaswata Manu. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty much the biblical Noah. Why do I say that? If you can just read this one line right here, you know what I'm saying, come to your conclusion. You can do some research on the story on your own motherfucking time or whatever to get deeper into it, but getting into it, right? So Lord Matsya, the divine fish, advised King Manu to gather representatives from every species of plants and animals, along with the seven great sages, and bring them abroad in the ark to save them from the impending destruction caused by the flood. That's pretty much it. Yes, it's pretty much a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much the biblical flood story of Noah right there, right? And not only that, you could bring it to the Babylonian pantheon and whatnot, to Utnapishtim, right? Utnapishtim, whose name means he has found life in Akkadian, was the legendary king, also a king as well, right? Of Shuruppak in ancient southern Mesopotamia, who survived the great flood sent by the gods to destroy humanity and whatnot, right? According to the Babylonian epic of Gilgamesh, the gods, particularly Enlil, decided to destroy mankind, but the god of wisdom and water, Ea, warned Utnapishtim of the impending disaster through a dream or by speaking to the walls of his house, right? So, gave him the instructions on how to build this ark or how to build his boat. And he told him he was to load his boat with his family, relatives, craftsmen, and pairs of every animal and plant species, right? Pretty as the flood story once again, just from a different section or a different portion of the earth, right? And I like the Babylonians because they pretty much, the way that they speak of their gods, they had a more personable connection with their gods and whatnot, right? And the gods use technology, and them niggas wasn't necessarily the most holy of niggas, if for lack of a better word. But getting into a different snippet, right? This is Dhruva Maharaj, right? So Dhruva Maharaj, he entered like a transcendental state of bliss and meditation. Um, Incessant tears flowed down from his eyes, his heart melted, and there was shivering and standing of hairs all over his body. Thus transformed in a trance of devotional service, Dhruva Maharaj completely forgot his bodily existence, and thus he immediately became liberated from material bondage. As soon as the symptoms of liberation were manifest, he saw a very beautiful airplane coming down from the sky, as if the brilliant full moon were coming down, illuminating all the 10 directions. Dhruva Maharaj saw two very beautiful associates of Lord Vishnu in the plane. They had 4 hands and a blackish bodily luster. They were very youthful, and their eyes were just like reddish lotus flowers. They held clubs in their hands. They were very dressed, and they were dressed in very attractive garments with helmets, and were decorated with necklaces, bracelets, earrings, etc. Right? So, whole bunch of extra shit y'all can read, I guess, into the Srimad Bhagavatam, and deeper into the story if you want to. The website is vedabase.io. But pretty much wanted to highlight that because it's like, it's telling you, he saw airplanes coming down from the sky. You know what I'm saying? Airplanes coming down from the sky. beings with four hands, blackish bodily luster. He's describing the physical appearance of these entities or whatnot, right? And what they wanted to do is pretty much take him, lift him up from this earthly plane, and take him to Vaikuntha Loka, right? Which is said to be the abode of Lord Vishnu, right? Or the supreme personality of this universe and whatnot, right? So, uh, and it gets more graphic, it gets more descriptive, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of places within the Vedic scripture to where you can pretty much see them referencing gods using certain technologies or certain weapons, advanced modes of communication or transportation or whatever, right? It's abundant in the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? It's wild. But that's all I got. Velocity.